Hello children, I welcome you all to our English class of class 9. Today we are going to discuss about our unit 3 and the topic is school life. In that we'll discuss about our reading C homework and we'll discuss about some vocabulary given in this unit. Let's know about them. Let's know about homework given under reading C. Children, I guess by now most of you all might have been feeling bored. Like, what is it so important to know about this homework? We might have been doing this homework from a lot of time and we are being burdened up with this homework. These are the thoughts maybe running in your mind, right? So, it is not only that, children, there are some more important concepts and there are some interesting things to discuss about them. So, let's get into details. Homework has been initially given to students to reinforce the concept of learning at home, whatever they have been taught at school. So, some teachers, when they are teaching some difficult topics, they feel that these must be practiced at home and they give them as homeworks to children so that they'll get a better understanding of the concept. But what was the result? The children were being burdened with a lot of homework, so which is not at all good. So too much of homework is not helpful and can be counterproductive. When too much of homework is given without a proper planning, carelessly if it is given, so that can even demotivate a child and can take the child away from the concept of learning. But what happens is generally some teachers, they have been arguing that when the homeworks are being given, they say that these homeworks will prepare the students for a world with real challenges. So in order to face real challenges, they need to prepare at home by doing their homeworks, they say. But is it really required to do a lot of homework? Let's discuss. So, excessive amounts of homework can be harmful to kids both physically and mentally. Carrying heavy loads of books, so it can even damage the child's backbone. Maybe it is hurting the child who is actually in his developmental stage. Okay, that is being a lot of burden on their back. And homework even takes away the little time that is left with the child. Like the child is spending a lot of time at school, and when he's back to home, he needs to spend at least a little time with the family members. But the homework that is given even may sometimes take away their social life. They can't even spend with their family or they can't even attend any family or social gatherings. So homework may affect the children in such cases, and sometimes like the children are always sitting and doing these homeworks. So what is happening? The children are not practicing or not doing any physical exercises. So that can lead to some sort of conditions like obesity or some things that is not good to the children. So the children must do the homework in a planned manner and allocate some of their hours through the week for physical exercise. Physical exercise always keeps children active and they can learn a lot in their studies as well as in their day-to-day lives. Next, we'll discuss about the concept that is given, like the homeworks when they are given without any proper planning even can make the children feel bored, and some children may assort even to copy or cheating. Okay, they might be waiting for others to complete. The children who are not interested in the work, they might actually try to copy it or they might even cheat and write, so that is not even giving any sort of help to the child in improving his knowledge. Only they are actually trying to complete the work, that's it. So this is also a quality of counterproductiveness. So children, when they do the homework with interest, what is the result? So the homework, when it generally creates interest, it will create interest in child when less is given. So the concept of less is more. So less homework that is given will be more helpful, will always be more useful. That will help the children to understand the concepts better. It is not to determine that homework must be completely abolished, it should be taken away, the teacher should not give homework. It is not that way it's told. It is only told that homework that is given must suit to the needs of the learning. Is it useful for the child to do a lot of homework? The teacher must understand, or does the concept needs the homework to be done? Accordingly, the homework must be planned, and as well, the homeworks must be planned as reading homeworks or writing homeworks, and they must be properly planned. So the proper planned homework that is given to a child will help the child to retain the interest in the concept that the child is learning. This will always help the child to improve his knowledge as well. So children, try to understand this concept of less is more. So when you're given homework, try to understand what is the initial point, what you want to read or learn, and then you try to acquire the knowledge. Coming to a vocabulary, let's know about phrasal verbs. What are phrasal verbs? A phrasal verb is a combination of two or three words such as main verb and an adverb, main verb and preposition, or it can even be main verb, adverb and a preposition. Children, don't get confused. You can understand the concept better when you discuss it with examples. First, understand what is a phrasal verb. The phrasal verb's meaning is different from the individual words themselves. So don't try to understand the meaning of the word separately in a phrasal verb. The words put together to make a phrase along with a verb is giving a complete different meaning. Okay, so try to understand the meaning of the phrasal verbs and try to use them carefully. So let's understand some examples. Take up. Take up is to begin a new hobby. So when you're learning something very new, so you can use this phrasal verb. As in the sentence, I am not very good at basketball. I only took it up recently. So here the took up phrasal verb is a past form of take up, and this is a separable phrasal verb. As you notice, another word it is coming in between. So took it up is certainly giving you that the basketball is learnt recently, so that is why the person is not very good at that, so he has not yet learned all the skills of playing the basketball. So next example, get around is to travel to different places. I will get around from town to town. So here the concept of traveling is discussed in this phrasal verb. So next one, go along is to continue or to develop. He is under training and is going on well. So the concept of understanding to the situation and learning the process is discussed in this phrasal verb, go along. Next one, come across. When you discover or notice something that is unexpected. When you discover something unexpectedly, you have to use this phrasal verb. I came across a car I had never seen before. So here you have seen something that you had never seen before to that. Okay. So in such case, you have to use this phrasal verb. Fifth one is breakdown. Breakdown, you have two different usages. You can see both. I'll discuss them. So breakdown, first case is to stop functioning. Our car broke down at the side of the highway. So the car stopped functioning. So we have to stop it right in the side of this highway. So breakdown is used in one situation in case of explaining the malfunctioning or the car stopped functioning. In another way, we can use it in the way of expressing of getting upset. Okay. So the woman broke down when the police told that her husband met with an accident. So the lady is very much worried. She understood and learned from the police that her husband met with an accident. So she got very upset. She is very worried. So try to understand, breakdown is not breaking something down. The lady is broke down with the bad news. The car broke down because it's not working. So don't understand the phrasal verbs by the individual words. Try to understand them as a phrase as a whole. Phrasal verb is having a lot different meaning, and don't go by the meaning of individual verbs. There are a lot of phrasal verbs, children, and these phrasal verbs, when learned perfectly, can be used in your day-to-day conversations. And you have to understand the concept of phrasal verb is always a phrasal verb is coming as a compound word. It is coming along with an adverb or coming along with a preposition or combination of preposition as well as adverb along with the main verb. So here you can see the first example, carry out. Carry is a main verb and out is a preposition. So carry out is to do something along, and set up. Set up is something like it's been arranged or something. Okay. So you have to understand it's always a combination of verb and verbal. Verb is coming along with two other words, so that is why it's a phrasal verb. Try to know the meanings of all these phrasal verbs and try to use them in your speech or in your writing. Children, I hope you all understood today's class, and thank you for joining me in this class. Happy learning, and let's meet in the next class.